Every family has that one person they treat like absolute dirt, the one they stomp on just to make themselves feel taller. For the prominent Zhang family, that person was Elena. For 3 long years, she cooked, cleaned, and endured endless insults from her mother-in-law and her husband David. They treated her like a nameless, penniless servant who should be grateful just to breathe the same air as them. David's family had recently climbed the corporate ladder, and with a little bit of money came a mountain of arrogance. They constantly reminded Elena that she came from nothing, an orphan with no background, completely unworthy of their prestigious name. But Elena just stayed quiet, smiling through the disrespect, taking care of David with a devotion that he never deserved. The breaking point arrived on a rainy evening during David's promotion party. The room was filled with wealthy guests, expensive champagne, and laughter. Elena arrived late, soaking wet, holding a small lunchbox with David's favorite homemade meal because he had complained about a stomachache earlier. But instead of appreciation, she was met with pure disgust. David's mother stood up, grabbed the lunchbox, and threw it across the floor, watching the food spill everywhere. She screamed at Elena for embarrassing them in front of high society. And then came the ultimate betrayal. David walked out, arm in arm with a glamorous woman named Chloe, the daughter of a massive tech billionaire. Right there, in front of everyone, David handed Elena divorce papers. He told her that a useless street dog like her could never help his career, while Chloe could hand him the world. He demanded she sign the papers and get out of his sight forever. The guests laughed, mocking her wet clothes and her broken expression. Elena looked at David, then at his mother, and finally at the divorce papers. For the first time in 3 years, the submissive, quiet look in her eyes completely vanished. It was replaced by a chilling, freezing, cold stare. She picked up the pen, signed it without a single tear, and said, "You will beg me to come back, but by then, you won't even be worthy of looking at my shadow." She turned around and walked out into the storm, leaving behind a room full of people laughing at her. But what David and his arrogant family didn't know was that Elena wasn't an orphan. 3 years ago, she had made a secret vow to live as a commoner to test if someone could love her for who she was, not for her wealth. And now, that game was officially over. The moment she stepped outside, a fleet of 10 luxury black Rolls-Royce cars pulled up, blocking the entire street. Dozens of men in black suits stepped out, bowing deeply to her. Standing at the front was the most powerful butler in the country, who handed her a pristine white coat and whispered, "Welcome back, Chairman Elena, the richest heiress of the global Phoenix Corporation." The Phoenix had finally broken out of her cage. The very next morning, the Zhang family was on top of the world, preparing to sign a massive, life-changing contract with the legendary Phoenix Corporation, a deal arranged through Chloe's connections. David and his mother arrived at the grand corporate headquarters, smirking and dreaming of total dominance. They entered the top-floor boardroom, laughing about how they finally got rid of the bad luck charm, Elena. But when the grand double doors opened, the atmosphere turned to ice. Sitting in the massive leather executive chair, surrounded by top lawyers and bodyguards, was Elena. She was wearing a flawless diamond suit, her hair perfectly styled, radiating an aura of absolute power and royalty. David gasped, his eyes nearly popping out of his head. He pointed a shaking finger at her, screaming that a worthless beggar had crawled into the chairman's office. His mother started shouting at the security guards to throw her out, but the security didn't move. Instead, the head of security forced David and his mother to their knees. The head butler stepped forward and announced to the entire room that this was Chairman Elena, the sole owner of the Phoenix Empire. Chloe, trying to save her own skin, tried to argue, but Elena simply threw a folder onto the table. With a calm, deadly voice, Elena revealed that she had just bought out Chloe's father's tech company, bankrupting them overnight. Chloe was ruined. David, realizing the catastrophic mistake he had made, completely lost his mind. He crawled on his knees toward Elena, crying, begging for forgiveness, claiming he was blinded by greed and that he always loved her. His mother, who used to slap Elena, began slapping her own face, weeping and begging the Phoenix for mercy. But Elena didn't even look down at them. She simply leaned forward and told them that they wanted a high society life, so she is going to make sure they spend the rest of their lives at the absolute bottom, paying back every single cent they owed. With a wave of her hand, the guards dragged them out, screaming and crying into the streets, completely ruined and disgraced. The Phoenix had taken her rightful throne, and nobody would ever dare to cross her path again.